It's time to be heroes. Do your part today.
What's going on, Chubube? Welcome back to the Plot Coalition YouTube channel. Today we are going to be streaming, but I wanted to make you aware of what we are streaming for and what this is all about. There's currently a charity fundraiser going on by the Freedom Alliance, who is raising money for Save the Children. Myself and a bunch of other Helldivers creators are supporting this event and will be streaming throughout the week, as well as participating in the first ever community major order hosted by Commissar Kai. So if you want to get involved in that major order, go ahead and check out his YouTube channel for all of the details. We're also doing a giveaway for this event where you can have a chance to win a digitally signed For Liberty display poster. It looks like this. It's pretty cool, and it's got our names on it. But everybody lives all over the world, so we couldn't physically sign it, but it's digitally signed with the same love and care that went into the film. So go ahead and check out the links in the description below to learn more about how to participate in that. And otherwise, enjoy the event. That's pretty much it. All right, you're here to watch a live stream, not watch a pre-recorded video of me. So we're going to end this now and jump over to the live stream. So let's get over there to the live. Away from me. This is me stalling. Or maybe this is live. You never know. What's going on, Chubube? Welcome back to the Plot Coalition YouTube channel. We are working on episode 3 tonight, if I can figure out what's wrong with the Unreal project. So I'm trying something right now that would help speed up things drastically. It's the same kind of thing we were doing in episode 1 for anybody that might remember from there, where we could become we could play as the character and run around and record some animation and stuff. Something's breaking, so I'm trying to fix that at the moment. And we might try and just keep it we'll record it on one character, and then we'll retarget it to the Python commando. But let's see. Let's get an update. What are we at? We are at $171,852.90 with an updated goal of 180,000, which is incredible. Pretty cool. So don't forget to give to Save the Children. Use the linky link. Here, I'll pin it down here. Oh, geez, I wrote it wrong. I accidentally, my fat finger hit the plus key. What is this, amateur hour? There we go. Now it'd be pinned. But yeah. Be sure to jump in and donate. I donated the stuff that came in last night, this morning, with a little bit extra because I was on there anyways. So, but I do encourage anybody who comes in and super chats here, before you do that, go directly to Save the Children. Because you're just giving YouTube money, and YouTube doesn't need your money as much as the kiddos. So I'm just waiting for Unreal to save over here, and we'll see if it fixed my woes, all of my problems. But we'll be working more on the animatic today, and then yeah, that's probably what I'll work on through the weekend so we can get the animator started on stuff. We'll roll out casting and everything like that. Get that all recorded and move right through the rest of production. Because once we have those elements, the more I break down the script and stuff, the more it's yeah, we just need to strategically attack each of these things, and we'll be we'll be good. We'll be Gucci good. But how's everybody doing tonight? I know there's been like a lot of me. You know, we've had some fun nights today. Tonight's more of a chill one. How are you guys doing? What's everybody here up to? Well, let me know in the chat. Also, whenever Mad Dog gets in here, if he shows up tonight, I got a question for Mad Dog. If anybody knows the whereabouts of Mad Dog, I've got a question for him. I have a question for the Lord of Cheese. Waiting to get off work to dive on Yed Pryor. Very nice, very nice. Doing the community major order. We might end up doing that if Unreal ever decides or doesn't decide. It's been over here saying saving for a while. So maybe we'll go and do our part for Suba Oof. To save the kids. We need to steal the DSS. That's a must. We have content on deck waiting. But we need to steal the DSS first, and we don't have it yet. I was thinking about making something like as a joke with the DSS. There we go. All right. So let's try this. So what I had tried before was to port some stuff over. And then everything that ported over was broken. And I was like, that's not supposed to happen. Also, can't wait for the ODST and Redacted Regiment episode. Me neither. That's going to be a good one. Speaking of, I need to get back to Wasp, who's writing that episode. He had a question for me, and I forgot to answer. I was going to answer before stream, and naturally, I thought I had more time than I actually did. Classic me. All right, let me see if this guy opens. Bada bing, bada boomski. It is still broken. What is going on? Really don't know. Let me see. Do I have all the brother? Okay. What else? What are the other plugins that were suggested? Okay. So it might have been that I literally had every plugin enabled except for one that these tutorials tell you to turn on the other ones because it assumes you have this one enabled. But apparently this project did not. But yeah, we're really excited for the ODST and Redacted Regiment episode as well. It is going to be which is it's gonna be different than other episodes. We have some cool stuff planned for it. It's gonna be more stealth horror-esque. All right. So I just enabled a different plugin. We're gonna cross our fingers and see what happened. If this is defunct, it's defunct, which is a bummer. But I have a backup plan. Yep, it's still broken. Yeah, this is mad annoying. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it's just all... Let me show you. It's all errors. So that's fun. Welcome to working in a game engine. I don't even know where to start, brother. Well, we can ignore this for now. I can figure something out later. What I will likely do instead is... The ideal would be that I could just bring this into an environment and run around with it. But obviously if this is broken, that's a problem. Now I suppose I should probably check and make sure it didn't break any of these character blueprints. Nope, these guys are good. We're all set there. I'm an Xbox diver, and those are my two favorite war bonds, so I'm excited. Also, the movie was amazing. I think I've watched it at least 10 times now. Holy Toledo! Well, I'm glad you enjoyed For Liberty of Helldivers. Had a lot of fun making it. So yeah, what we're gonna do, we're just gonna plow forward with the episode animatic, and what I'll do is I'll in that project where the movable, nice smooth animation guy comes from, I'll record it in there, and then I'll export those, like what I record as animations. Essentially that will be the motion capture, and then I'll just transfer those animations into this project, and they'll be completely separate, and then we can just retarget them to the metahuman and we'll be fine. It is a little bit annoying though, because like it is really cool to put them in the world and run around and have them respond to that, but this project is already like kind of chunky, so I wonder if the combined chunk is an issue. Ultimate chunk. All right, let's get a move on. Let's open up our extraction set. I don't know how long I'm going to stream tonight, because we've been streaming kind of late. We streamed so late last night that me and Cold Brew played with Tana, and she lives in Thailand, so. But I did discover, because it only felt correct. For those who don't know, Tana is the EPOG girl. But I did learn that using the EPOG, the Purifier, and the Loyalist as a combo, it's actually kind of goated, because you really don't need to switch up like how you play between weapons. All right, let's see here. Scene 3. Scene 3 goes for about a page and a quarter. And this is going to be 3. Location C. Correct, yeah. All right. That's what I've been calling these, right? Yeah. 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 Yep. 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 You. All right. I don't know where I was going with that. All right. So we're gonna feel out the shots that we want. I'm just gonna make that nice and long to start. All right, shot 1 is gonna be his helmet sporadically lit by gunfire and lightning. It's gonna be ready. Let's sound it out. Ready? There we go. That's shot 1. And then, of course, still shooting. Alright, and then this next one, we're going to sound out with audio. Yo, what's up, Ghosty? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the live. Good to see you. Good to see you. We'll give them a second, and then they'll be like... Our real question is, which audio track are we on? Is it 11? 3 turns to 6. Nope. It's 2 behind that, so... 009. Most of the eggs, we left like 3. Mad Dog's in the chat. Mad Dog, I got a question for you. I'm doing the fly, rubbing his hands together. I need to know. I was thinking about this earlier after I unprompted asked Cold Brew what his favorite cheese was. And then it dawned on me. We don't know what Mad Dog's favorite cheese is. So, I think we need to know from the Lord of Cheese himself. What is your favorite cheese? I know Craig Lee Thomas's Lord of Cheese. I told you it's Pepper Jack? Maybe you did. I'm tired enough that it's entirely possible. Also, what's up, Sam? Welcome, welcome. Left like 3. We're out of stems, man. Turns to 6. 6 turns to 12. Before you know it, the this planet will be reclaimed by these vermin. Hey, you like jazz? Also, I feel like... Oh no! Probably due to my lack of cheese consumption. As I have exhausted my town supply. That's terrible, I'm sorry to hear. I was having my own UE troubles, and then I saw your error screen, Small World. Yeah. Sam, what you been doing in Unreal Engine? I'm real curious. I'm real curious all the Unreal Engine interest on your channel. What's all that about? I must know.
You're never gonna make it. Don't try and be a hero. Better to die as a hell deliverer.
Tune in for episode 5. Well, I can't wait. That does tickle my fancy. Color me intrigued. Are you using it for just one part of an episode, or are you like porting the entire thing into UE5? I'm so curious. Unless you just have like another like cold open and you mock me for using Unreal. I think my next goal in Unreal, maybe I'll try to figure this out. We have a lot of things planned for episode 4 because we're going to jump up to UE 5.8. But I want to see if there's a way to where I can do all this. And like similar to when I click this button and it indexes all my stuff, can I hit that button and it spits out an Excel sheet or like writes an Excel sheet that puts all my shots in it? I'm curious. We're using it for one part. Episode 5 has another Truth Enforcer TV spot. Interesting. I'll be excited to see it. If you need the loyal citizen to remake an appearance. The real Slim Shady. Episode 7 is the plot UE slander episode. I gotcha. That makes a lot of sense. You know, when I really piece together like each episode you put out so far, it's clicking.
Then live as a coward.
Alright, then this will be a... What's with these fellas? Oh no. I will say it is a bit more liberating to work this way. I feel like I have more freedom to work through the actual edit of it, and maybe even give myself a few extra handles, which is something that, like, the episodes have been so locked for like per shot in Unreal, whereas like kind of building out the timeline here as opposed to DaVinci Resolve, I feel like frees me up to have a little bit of wiggle room, which I'm sure the composers will love. All right, then we'll have another shot. Maybe that's Pelican lifting off. You see him standing there.
Hairy eggs, acting like Liberty was.
Then it can be close up of him.
Acting like Liberty was some sort of quota to hit.
And then
But a finite number doesn't liberate an infinite galaxy.
that's how movies get made. You got to make all the sound effects with your mouth first. That's the rule. The rule of Martin Scorsese. Yo, we got Chechen in the chat. Frito Lions here. Just wanted to swing by and thank you all for being a part of this. You're the reason the event is even possible. Chechen, thank you so much for swinging by. And you are also the reason this is all happening. You play such an instrumental part. We are all incredibly grateful for you. So thank you for swinging by. It means a whole lot. What are we at? What are we up to? Let's refresh the page. 173,733.67. Lord Grinfest isn't in the chat, but she just missed it. So 173,700. Nice. That's right. We're all in this together. All right. We'll do a big old save. We'll let this run. Bam. All right, shot one. Let's get our guy in here. Oh wait, we can't use this version of him. He's not that yet. He's this version of himself. And he's gonna need a regular smuggler liberator, but we can set that up real quick. Look at this. This is our Viper Commando pre-changeover. I don't know why the speculars have been going so crazy in the blueprint. It's freaking me out. That's all right. Let's grab from here. Oh, Wibbo Weifel. And we'll paste it in here. Of course, I didn't properly set up the parent. Oh, wait, it needs to. I see. What happens? Let's just do everything on the boss. On the boss, like a boss. I've been doing it where I've been like actually doing it to the attached things, and then it occurred to me, I was like, wait a second, these are all already like zeroed out to be exactly where they need to be. Why am I wasting my time? And then I'll add this. Oh. Then it became very, very tiny. Why is it so small? There we go. Now we have that version of him we can use. And I never have to parent a gun to that hand ever again. That's like, that was something I figured out when I was working on New Frontiers. But so this was long before I live streamed my process or anything. Because I was still figuring it out. So what I would do is, one, I would animate an entire scene in one sequence. So all the lights, all the cameras, all the characters, everything was in one sequence. But I also didn't know that you could spawn literally anything into a sequence. You could have a completely empty level and build the entire thing in sequencer if you wanted to. But I didn't know that. So what I would do is if like a character in a scene or a level was like too broken, I'd make multiple copies of the same character, have them all in the level, and then do this with them. And they'd be under the map. And then like when it got to like a certain point, I would like change the transform keyframe to bump them up to where they needed to be. It was very laborious. I don't know how I made an entire show that way, but I did. And it was quite silly. I'll put it that way. All right. I can't rag on myself too much about it though, because I did not quite the same thing, but similar in For Liberty. So he'll be shooting blah 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 blah. Then he'll be shooting again. But we'll also have two other guys running up. Which I think we just make these two guys. 1 and 2. Also on the latest episodes, or even just Heroes of the Galactic War in general, I've been forcing myself to learn like actual keyboard shortcuts a lot better, and that has helped because I used to go up here and switch to like the unlit and lit mode and stuff back and forth, and it's not a good way to work. So if you're in Unreal, it's just Alt and then number keys, and then Control number keys is how you switch modes. So like if I go into like Control 1. Oh, nope, that's a bookmark. Is it Shift 1? Yeah. So Shift does the mode. So Shift 3. 5, 5, 6, 2. What the heck? Which one is? Which one's animation mode? Shift 8. Oh, that's impossible to reach. But and then Alt does the different lit modes. Yep, my sessions have a bunch of stuff shoved under the map in SFM. LOL. I'm currently using 3 models of the same magazine to do a reload right now. Yep, that is how I made all of New Frontiers. And then when I realized you could just spawn things in a level sequence, that changed it all for me. And then, like I was mentioning the other night, the quickness of truly making the animatic as fast as possible, where it's like stuff is barely explained, like to where it might as well just be stick figure sketches, is the way to go here. Oh, I moved him outside of the... Whoops, I forgot part of my own process. Kind of want him to be like center of frame. And then maybe when I get deeper into the weeds of animation, I'll have a couple of bugs popping their heads out of the trees while these guys are getting on Pelican. But yeah, it's like the faster I blitz through this part, the sooner we can get through everything else. And I'm just finding more and more, it's like spending time on this on our timelines just does not make sense, because it's all getting replaced. And it's like, it's not like I need to explain to you like an executive or something of like justify like, okay, this is where it's at. It can because ultimately I'm making those decisions anyways. It definitely helps. But like when we were doing the cinematic for the Save the Children thing, that was a good example of like being able to get a bare bones, which I suppose nobody here has actually seen that. But we did like a bare bones animatic. That did get the idea across a little bit more, since it was like, you know, showing the Freedom Alliance and stuff. Like this is what we're doing. But here it's a little bit different. All right, I think I want these guys to be on his right shoulder. So then he can, yeah, turn in towards the right. Yeah, because of the lighting. So, movie director time. If I, let me show. Let's get a camera in here so I can demonstrate. This is all gonna get, again, replaced anyways. Let's say I'm shooting more or less from here. And I'll move these guys over. And maybe I'll generally put them up into the Pelican already. Which I need to rebake out the textures for the Pelican because those have been broken since episode 1. I've just been like BSing and getting away with it. But I need to rebake those out. But okay, so movie magic learning, yay. Let's go out to here. So if I know in this shot that I'm gonna want to shoot into this side, which is the right side of his face, generally speaking, kind of like the way that I have the camera right now for like cinematic quality. I'm not saying by any means my stream setup is cinematic, but you generally want to have the camera shoot into the shadowed side of the face, and you want to leave the brighter side on the opposite side because it makes it more dynamic. So like if the camera's shooting this way, there's less dimension to my face, and you can use it to tell things. Obviously, like my lighting is like pretty like split right now. It's what's called split lighting. But if you're shooting into this side, it doesn't necessarily look as cinematic. You can use it for different storytelling things, but here you get a lot more dimension. Like my nose gets more shape, my brow gets more shape, all these kinds of things. So generally speaking, you want the light on the opposite side so you can shoot into the shadowed part of the face. I can also use it here in this scene to make him more mysterious and them more like, I don't know, vulnerable, I guess, or like, I don't know if vulnerable is the right word, but I do have a big nose. Don't remind me. I have a broken nose. Fun story. I'll tell you after I finish my filmmaking lesson. So like, let's say we wanted to shoot over this way. Let me bring in a light. We're gonna bring in a point light because I won't have to rotate it. So let's say we wanted to bring this in. Make him look nice. Bring the attenuation radius down. And bring it over here. Oh, Mrs. Coalition saying I have a perfect nose. I actually don't. I have the definition of an imperfect nose. I'll explain that in a minute. But, so to give an example. So here we are shooting into this side of his face. Obviously, like, lighting isn't final by any means. But we can shoot over here and have it look like this. And if I pin the camera, you can watch as I move it. If I move it to the same side that the camera's on, it feels less cinematic. And there are use cases you can have for that, but it suddenly just brightens up his face too much, and that's not the intentional feeling I'm going for. I want it to feel a little bit moodier on him. So I'll keep this light here for the time being, even though I'm not really going in and doing lights right now. But if I... Oh, shoot. Silly me. It's because I was talking about my face. Sorry, we'll go over that again. So this is what the lighting looks like if it's on this side of his face. We can go into the camera. That's on when we're shooting into the shadowed side of his face. If we move it over to the bright side of its face, it loses that cinematic feeling. There's nothing mysterious about him anymore. There's nothing, shadowed or chiseled about his features because it's all being lit from the front. Even when we pull it to the side, it gets okay. But now we have kind of like all this negative space on this side of the screen. And again, he's just a little bit more broadly lit. But as soon as we move it to the opposite side of the camera, we get something that feels moodier, feels more cinematic. And I'm also using another technique, which is basically you kind of want to split your frame up as much as you can. Don't do it all the time or else it's going to be like super obvious. But if you can kind of split the lighting in your frame up into like multiple segments of like dark, bright, dark, over here will be bright, dark, that also makes things feel a little bit more intentional, a little bit more cinematic. So like, let's say I wanted to bring in a spotlight to light up the guys in Pelican. And I'm going to hide the spotlight right above his head. And we'll shine it back on them. Turn off snapping. And maybe we make that warmer. And brighten it up. So now when we go into the camera, I'll unpin it from here. But when we pull focus to them, they're gonna feel a little bit safer. Maybe we warm up the background, like just behind them, because the Pelican kind of has this void to it right now. But all of this to say, I am once again vocalizing my entire process. So it's making it take a bit longer than I usually would, but I want to show you guys the why and the kind of intentionality that goes into like so many decisions that you never think about when you're watching it and it's playing on screen. So turn that down to like a 1. Okay, so very rudimentary lighting, but we'll roll with it. But now, if I have him, if I intentionally plan, where's his head control? If I intentionally plan for him to turn this way, when he's facing the other direction, the way that the lighting is, his face, and I don't cross the 180 degree line, which is basically this side of his face. It's called the 180 degree rule or line or whatever the film nerds call it. I don't know. I didn't go to school. But now when I shoot on this side of his face, he will still be lit from the opposite side, rather than having him turn to the left and it have the opposite effect. So I'm intentionally having him, at least having the opposite effect, as in like in a shot where if he's over here and turns his face into the light, he's going to be broad lit. If he turns it this way, he's automatically turning into the shadow. So that is the level of intentionality in minutia we get into with some of these things. I was looking back on New Frontiers a little bit, and I was like, honestly, there are so many things about this that I did the right way, and it's really the animation and a couple of like the 3D technical things that fall really short. But as far as like a lot of the principles, it's like maybe onto something a little bit. Okay, let me tell you my story about he's got a little bit of he's got a little bit of his chin sticking out. I'll have to fix that later. But let me tell you the story of my nose, my big old schnoz. I just spilled water on myself. I don't need to get like too far into it, but I broke my nose when I was 15. It got smashed, obliterated, softball, playing catcher without a mask. I never really wanted to play, but my dad wanted me to. Smashed my nose and stuck it out for the rest of the game. Was a good sport about it, whatever. But then when we went to the hospital, my mom thought I had brain damage, which didn't help the scenario. But then we went and like, you know, they did like an x-ray and whatever of everything. And they pulled up. They held up an x-ray of a nose, and they were like, "You see this?" I was like, "Yep." And he was like, "All right, this is not an x-ray of your nose. This is an x-ray of what a nose is supposed to look like." And he held up the x-ray of my nose, and there was nothing in there. My nose had turned to dust. And so they had to wait for it to reform, and they broke it again to try and fix it. And I kind of wish they had just left it the way it was, because when they broke it again, it hurt way worse. And they didn't fix it either. It was still damaged. It was only until like a couple of years ago I started to get my sense of smell back. But that was 14 years ago now. Something like that. 14, 15 years ago. The periodic lighting flashes help offset the shadows kind of nicely to help offset. Goodness. Yes. And that's just from having the thunderstorm set up. We got most of the eggs. We'll actually start on these guys. We got most of the eggs. We left like 3. We're out of stems, man. I have ball focus to him. 6 before this planet will be reclaimed by these. You're never right. Probably gonna have him do a reload animation there since you can't see his hands. You should turn the camera from the spooky dark abyss so I can sleep. LOL. What? You can walk downstairs behind me. I'll turn it. You were on stream for 3 hours. You're welcome. Better. But my jams. And this shot's gonna be from those guys' perspective after he turns. I'm not gonna worry about the lighting right now because I was doing that for more for demonstrative purposes.
Then live as.
I don't know if I want to keep this as a 200 mil. That's kind of an interesting shot in terms of the story. I'll leave it for now. I can always go back in and change it.
Count.
And we're coming up on a great example of why I also don't go super detailed in the environments anymore. Even though it is fun, there is something, if I have the time, it is admittedly a lot of fun to just like sit and build an environment like you're building Legos. But it's also disheartening when most of it doesn't end up in the final product. that kind of gets to you. These guys are so tall. They're from my preset pack. It was not worth it to me to make brand new characters. I guess it would help if I knew where the focus plane was. Give me the pelican. Bella, 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 pelican. Bye, guys. I will say this will be the third episode featuring the pelican. That has not been intentional. But it's also until we get to episode 6, it is also the last time we have like a planned use of the pelican that I can think of. At least that we've discussed so far. Pelican not want to take off? Just wanted to go all the way over there, I guess. Pelican, what are you doing? It's going to be a whole lot simpler to just say, use that. Show you some motion. I will say it's a little weird editing without the music, because I usually drop temp music in at this point. And I'll probably still do temp music when I compile and edit in DaVinci Resolve. But for now, we're really assembling like everything for the scene in one thing, which is kind of interesting.
3 eggs. Active.
You can hear my illustrious voice acting. No need to thank me. You know what we'll do while we're here, too? We'll add a wind source this way. It's gonna freak out because of that broken blueprint. Oh, is there already a wind directional source in the... There is. So this one's useless. So like that. I have to blow his cape that way. Blah, 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 blah. Look how badass he is. With his sword and keeping the wind. He's just like me for real. Guys, I'm literally a Python commander.
Like Liberty was some sort of...
I will say something that is kind of cool to think about. I tend to have the moment on every project like once, and then I completely forget about it. This is like a rare exception of a time where like it's come to my mind. Is like it's really easy to get caught up in the like I'm going through the motions, I'm doing the thing to get the episode done or get the movie done or whatever, you know. And sometimes you just take for granted the very cool thing of like, hey, that's when I do the motion capture, it's like that's me. Even though it's the voice actor, like the voice actor is what you remember. It's like, and they do any given moment that's either me or one of the other animators. A lot of times it's me, but it's like, hey, like I am that guy in my skin tight Rococo suit. Sam says, I try to never think about that. Episodes 3 through 6 are literally me in my underwear in all reality. That's
In like Liberty was some sort of quota to hit.
that's just the reality of filmmaking, I always like have like one moment where I think about it, and then it just completely leaves my mind forever. But I think there's a small element of it that I think it's also just like accepting like what it is, Like for me, I'm like, I know my real life body type. And I get a little bit of a kick out of this idea of like, it's like that cool, like as cool as that guy looks in the final thing. It's like that's just me doing whatever. I think it is kind of cool just to like think about it, like, again, you get kind of lost in like the aspects of production and whatever. But like in this, for example, or like I'll go to like episode 1 as like an example. It's like all through that there's like so much going on and stuff. Especially when like the ICBM site and the blizzard and whatnot. They're like just these like cool moments, like, when the eclipse is happening and, the Winter Warrior is like looking down the scope and he like kind of like settles in a little bit. And it's like, that was just me literally like on my desk like I am now and just like doing a little dropping down. And then like that's it. That is like that character's iconic shot. I don't know. It's just it's kind of cool to think about from time to time. But then, all the entire character rightfully belongs to Sean, who voiced that character. Same with any of the others in the film. It's the doing the motion capture for the women is always kind of funny. I have a pretty good like I can switch on in my brain. It's like I'm doing female mocap now. I don't know what it is, but something like, because I remember when I was doing New Frontiers, I was like, this like it all looks incorrect. I'm doing something wrong when I was doing some of the initial tests. And like I just figured out, it's like, how do you mocap walk more like a female? It's like, okay, I'm starting to figure it out. Obviously, it's best to get like, you know, a real actor to do all this stuff, but that's not always possible until some other stuff that we're going to be trying for episode 5, which includes the new video-based motion capture in directly in Unreal with metahumans, which I'm very keen on trying out. Exactly, and then you remember what actual Darth Vader's voice sounded like before James Earl Jones. Exactly. I'm doing female mocap today, LOL. Hey, that's part of the process. It was something I had to like really work on figuring out when I was doing New Frontiers, because the 2 leads were women. And so it was how much I remember I calculated the mocap from the Titanfall series, and it was something ridiculous. There was so much mocap in that series, and it looks like garbage because I didn't know what I was doing. To be fair, a lot of the tools didn't exist. Most of the tools in my pipeline now did not exist when I was working on that show. Yeah, that was just kind of funny. Oh, nice. You finished diving, Ghosty. Very cool, very cool. Alright. Let's drop in another camera. As the Mr. Pelican flies off. There was, for anybody who's watched New Frontiers, which I'm not going to lie, I know Flame has asked about it a number of times before. But every time I go back to it, I'm like, I know so much more now. I could do this so much better. Do I remaster New Frontiers? I'm like, no, I can't. That would be too crazy. I don't think I ever will. I think what I might do at some point is just a like something small, just to show like a comparison of like
With a finite number.
like this is all we had back then, and compared to the skills that I have now, and the tools that are available now. Like, this is so how much better it could be. I do think about that pretty frequently. I definitely at some point just want to do something Titanfall related again, so I can set up a model in my new system. For Liberty remake in a couple of years, I don't think so. So here's something that I ultimately have with my stuff as a whole is I don't want to fall into like a Naughty Dog-esque trap of like, oh, if I just go back in, or like a Francis Ford Coppola trap. It's like, oh, if I can just go back and redo it, I could definitely make it better. You know, that's the best thing I'm ever gonna make. So I gotta go back and make it the best it's ever gonna be. And it's like, nah, I think part of the journey as like a filmmaker and a creative is knowing that like that's it. That was the thing. You know, and it's like just picking up and moving on. Like the Room 24, the Red Dead Redemption short, man, that one was so close. That's like right as I was figuring out like how to do proper IK and stuff, which like doesn't matter anymore because now I'm in a metahuman pipeline, so I get all that stuff for free. But man, if that just had like a tiny bit more to it, it would have been like immaculate. it has the potential to be, but it's out there as it is, and I think that's an important part of being a creative, is just being able to put it out there and then move on to make things better and better, as is evident with what we're doing right now. UE4 was impossible. It's why we switched to SFM. Yeah, I mean, I do not blame you. UE4, I remember, like, so when I first got into Unreal Engine 5, everybody was like, you need to, like UE5 isn't quite there yet, you should use UE4, which, to be fair, like, a lot of the stuff was about games specifically, which makes sense. But I tried UE4 for a little bit, and I was like, I hate the way this looks. I don't want to, like, this is a huge turnoff for me. And Unreal Engine 5 is just a lot more. I think it's because it's so familiar to, honestly, Adobe Premiere and Adobe After Effects, which is like, I was at my peak like professional knowledge of both those softwares when I started learning Unreal. And so like this layout and stuff, and having like a timeline, a layered based timeline, especially for like animation and stuff, I'm like, that all makes sense in my noggin. Night Mad Dog, have a good one. We want For Liberty Director's Cut with an alternate ending to it. We want to see the cadet's face. Nah. You saw the director's cut. Everybody always died. And yeah, the cadet you intentionally never saw his face. So fun fact, this is how like gross the film made me feel when I was putting it together, which made me know I was doing something right. The shot in the beginning of the film where it's the cadet putting on his helmet, that later on is the shot of Isa putting on her helmet at the end of the film. That is, the cadet is literally, it's the exact same animation, just with the the hair grooms deleted, and then it's just completely silhouetted. So it's the exact same animation, and then we just swapped the materials out. It was literally a in sequencer, switch materials, and just did that for the parts of the body you could see. So it's literally the exact same shot, just with the hair grooms deleted. So in a way, you've seen the cadet's face because it's just the main character's face at the very end. Okay. Jack Viper. Terror runs through the tree, shooting at incoming bugs. He has more mud and wear on his armor now. Tripping and stumbling, he blindly tears through the jungle. A hunter jumps at him and pins his cape to the ground. His feet fly out from under him. Thud. Hits the ground as the hunter rears over him. Jack quickly detaches his cape, rolls out of the way before drawing his pistol and firing. Once dispatched, he continues his pursuit with his cape left in the mud. Our hero fires at more bugs. His armor is much muddier and worn down. Exhausted, alone, and in the rain, stumbles his way through the harsh terrain. So there's quite a bit involved in this next scene. We'll start crunching our way through it. Yeah, Ghosty, that's your cadet. It's just the main character. That was part of the intentional choice. Like the cadet was always supposed to be like a little bit like scrawnier anyways, but because, you know, at that time we were just working with like the standard like brawny and lean. It's like, well, that just solves an additional problem to just have them both be the lean character model. Okay, so now we're gonna go. Where are we going to? Levels. Jungle Knight. This might take a moment to load up. This one I low-key might get even lazier with. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, hey, we got a lot of people on Yeb Prior right now. That's pretty sick. We'll see how this next part goes, and if we can make our way through a decent chunk of it, we'll maybe we'll do a quick dive. Just to participate. Or maybe not. I will be playing tomorrow. If you do want to watch gameplay, though, I'm pretty sure Strider of Valor and Jay the Gamer are playing right now. They're either right after my stream or in the next one, which I only have to. I only signed up to stream for another 25 minutes. Once I hit that, I might be gone. I need to sleep. Bad blueprint. Don't tell me there's a bad blueprint. We're good. We got our forest. Something's wrong with the one on the mountains, which, like, I wonder if I click on this. So that's for that portion. Because I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be another PCG on these mountains back here. What if I type in PCG demo? So there's ground, ditch, and background. There's no, like, default regen button, though. I'm not going to worry too much about it. We're never going to be really looking out that far. And if we do, we can BS it. Because it's also going to look like that. You cannot tell that there's not geometry over there. Otherwise, impossible. And we're mostly going to be down in here. There's still text in here. Get out of here, text. All right, let's what's the shot one? Jack Viper runs through the trees, shooting at incoming bugs. So it'll be a shot one. Oh, shoot. I didn't put in... I didn't drop my shots into my spreadsheet. I'm a bad boy. Six, 7, 8. Cool. I'm just gonna call all these. I'm just gonna type in extraction scene. Honestly. For the time being, if I need to fill that out with more information later, I will, but for the time being, I'll have to go and pull these numbers, unless... Does this have them? It does not. I don't feel like reopening that. So I'll just leave my counter blank. But we do change locations and it is a new scene. So let me set that up. This is gonna be location D, scene 401. Haha, I saw the text and my first thought was, wow, he even put the credits in the map. No. Probably at some point I'll figure out setting all that up, but nah, that's just because we're using a demo scene to help speed things up. I love Cliff's voice acting too. Cliff is also just like such a cool guy. I need to change up my music playlist. I feel like it's getting kind of old. I don't even know if we're gonna finish this scene. A lot kind of happens in it. All right. Let me time this out. All right. Running. Ha ha ha. All right. No. Get out of here. What am I doing? Alright. Running. Ha 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 ha. And then running. Pew, pew, pew. Professional editor over here, guys. Alright. Running. Stumble. Believe it or not, this is how the magic happens. This part of the process has never been seen. All right, and then he jumper. Hunter jumps. It's gonna be chaotic. It's gonna be rainy. All right. Escape pinned. Him. Gotta do that again. Him. Right about there. And then above him, just like that one shot in Lord of the Rings with Pippin and the horse. The bug. Him. Oh wait, nope. He needs to go. He needs to detach escape first. Make sure that happens. And then he's gonna roll out, up and run. Saying I should voice act one day. I have voice acted. Have you guys not heard my voice acting debut in episode 4 of Helldivers Forever War? Okay, so now he's getting worn down. Stalker jumps out. I know that made 0 sense. Slash at his tummy. Camera down, camera up, his reaction. Pulls out pistol. Stalker jumps back as he fires blindly. Reaction shot. Looking in the trees, don't see anything. Gets spooked, runs away. There you go. Scene's blocked out. Oh, hey, Cringe Fest. Welcome. You missed my 6-7 joke earlier. We had 67 cents was the end of the donation. How many children have we saved yet? Let's see here. There's $175,123.32 donated. That means we are less than $5,000 away from the updated goal, which they updated at like 1 p.m. We're not even into the weekend. I told them, I was like, we should just go balls out and put it up to 220,000. Try and raise 100,000 more than the previous year. But they also haven't done like the auction items and stuff yet. So we're even far. We are probably at 175,000. We are at, like, realistically probably closer to like 193,000. But through like the known donations and stuff right now, it's at 175, 128. That show sucks. It insists on itself. Oh, the Helldivers Forever War. I was like, oh, how have I pissed off Sam this time? Apparently Texas has a feral giraffe. What? Is it at the San Antonio Zoo? Because I've seen the giraffes there many times. Yeah, it is pretty insane. Raise the money for the kids. Go pretty well. Alright. So this will just be a shot of homeboy hoofing it through the woods. He's not shooting yet. This is something I need to figure out. I need to find a way. Maybe it's just like a plugin I have to make or something. but like where the camera's looking, like just spawn the character in the centermost, like if there's the camera, if I'm pointing towards the ground here, wherever the center of the field of view is, drop whatever I spawned there. I need to figure out like a plugin or something for that. That would also help immensely. It escaped a ranch and cannot find it. But the friggin' Texans in their exotic animal ranches. I worked like not on a ranch, but like we like filmed content there, and there was a zebra hybrid kind of animal. I can't remember what it was. There was a zebra out there at one point, and I was just like, or like a zonkey, a zebra donkey, and I was like, what are we doing? Who is this guy? It's been missing for 2 weeks. They can't blend in with their environment and they're massive. It probably just like went hid in some brush. And it could definitely camouflage in Texas. Easy. Easy. Especially with just all the random crap that's like running around out. Because what they'll do is they will let them just like go and be wild animals and whatever. And then like, do their hunts or whatever. The only thing that I really get like the hunting aspect for in Texas are the boars. Bruh, I just got 3 donkey. Why you need a giraffe at your ranch? Yeah, exactly. The wild pigs and the boars. I get hunting those because those are just giant rats in Texas. But like the exotic animals and stuff, I'm like, leave them alone. The ranch that I was at, where we would film, there were like cows there that were just like free roam, and they never did anything bad, but like people would get pissed if they got into the ranch house grounds. Which, for the record, I never let them on. He's running, he's getting tired. You just like me, for real, for real. Yeah, no, the boars are terrible. Go and shoot those to your heart's content. Ooh, we got 3 minutes left of my mandatory live. It's not mandatory, but it's what I signed up for. As a reminder, the boys 3D printing 36 teeth. Okay. Printing yourself some grills, cringe fest. Gonna be like going around with your 3D printed teeth. The Fat Electrician did a special episode about rabbit bashing. Interesting. Terminated teeth for cosplay. You're doing a Terminated cosplay? That is pretty sick. There's one of the cosplayers in our server. They sent me I won't like say who they are just in case they want to remain anonymous. But they sent me an Illuminate cosplay that they're working on. It was pretty sick. Like it's like an overseer, not like a voteless. Like a full-on stilts and everything. What the heck? Why are these guys? Why are you guys looking like that? I need to fix these. This was something I was looking into before. Oh, it's like your kills. Are you doing the twig snapper with the gorilla helmet and the chainsaw? Because if you are, I cannot wait to see that. That's gonna be so sick. I need to get back into cosplay. I do indeed miss doing it. My 3D printer has been broken for too long. That is, if I can manage to get things off the ground, I want to get my hobbies back, like cosplay. Trying to get it done before the 10th so I can go meet John Helldiver. Just tell him you're from the Plot Coalition. And that we sent you with a 500 kg bomb. I'm still sad that my Jaguar helmet from the Viper Commando Superstore didn't make it into this episode. I know you sent me that and it looks so sick. Unfortunately, it was so this is the reason it's not in the episode. And like even going through like the script and stuff, like in our final like rewrites and stuff. It was close. Like it was like how do we fit as much of the Warbond content in as possible. And what it truly came down to was this is like supposed to be a story of survival of like the PH9 Predator. And so the Jaguar armor is like all ripped and jungly, and it's we're doing that aesthetic but with the skull helmet. So that was the main reason. He said he would sign the For Liberty poster. Yee! That'd be super cool. Craig's a cool guy. I think it's super awesome how, like, into it he is still. Like, he has every right to kind of not be. And he still does it for the love of the game. My final cosplay is a mix of the Jaguar helmet and Big Game Hunter armor from the Dust Devils Warbond. So there's still a chance for the armor. Which one is the Big Game? We're working on writing that one. Right now. Oh, it literally has the... Yo. That is pretty cool. There's a good chance this could show up. Because the Dust Devils and Borderline Justice episode are intentionally like it's supposed to be more Western, kind of like fringe rogue Helldiver-esque. So that could be really cool. That'll be fine for now. This ain't supposed to be final. Alright, I'm going to wrap up this shot, and then I'm probably going to call it quits for the night, because I need to sleep. I need sweep. Tuna armor. Exactly. I can't wait to finish my armor. I'm making Helldiver's card deck alongside, so I can perform magic tricks. That is so sick. That is so sick, Flame. I used I used to be huge into card tricks and magic and stuff. That was like my thing for a while. What's up with my printer? Do you tell me, Cringe? So I've been trying to fix and fine-tune it forever. I made the mistake of buying a Creality K1 And for a while, it was like, dog, this is doing exactly what I need. This is impeccable. It's incredible. And what happened over time was, well, no, there was literally just one point where it just randomly started separating the Z-axis while it was printing. And for a while, it was like so bad, I couldn't even start a print. And it would just start like jacking it up and doing things wrong. I have replaced almost every single part in the printer. Yeah, exactly. Using Creality. That's my problem. No, like literally the fix to this issue is to get a Bamboo Labs printer instead. Because I do like having it in a case, especially because I got kids and stuff, so that just makes it easier. But yeah, no, and it like I have done everything that I can to get it fixed. And even like when I get it close, it'll like be printing. I'll be like, okay, like it's working, it's doing what it needs to, and then just like mid print, it'll just give up and separate and just spray everywhere. Highly recommend the P1S. I'll look into that. I think I've heard of that one. Yeah, it was just one of those things. To be fair, I bought my printer like right after I got laid off because I was like, I need a hobby because I'm gonna lose my mind. So, and I really wanted to get like back into cosplay and just doing things, you know, that were like just, you know, being able to like sit down and paint and stuff. It was a good way to like clear my mind and stuff. But yeah, like right after I did my Helldiver armor, I was doing that one, and then I was working on my wife's armor set. And like right when I got to the point of printing her helmet, it started having problems. And then like since it's just been downhill, it's been a huge pain. But yeah, my goal is if I can get things with the channel and everything to work out, then I'll pick back up hobbies. One of them being that. Because I would love to get back into it. That works. It communicates the shot. That's all I needed to do. All right. There's a bit more in this scene, but I'm tired. I need to go to bed, and I will just blitz through as much of this as I can tomorrow because we should be set to go into production into next week. So tomorrow night, I'll be back on again, same time. We'll be playing Helldivers tomorrow. So it should be a good, fun time. But if you are on my stream right now, feel free to go and raid. Feel free to go and raid. Is it Jay the Gamer and Strider of Valor? I believe so. Let's. Yeah, he's live right now. So Jay's live, and it looks like he might be playing with Strider. So I'm going to encourage all of you to go over to his stream and rate it and have a good time. Tell him that Plot sent you. You can either go raid him, and then Strider should be live too. Yep, he is. All right, go raid these goobers. Tell him I called. Tell you. You go. You go say that I called them goobers. and you all have a good night. So I'll jump in there too. I'll jump in there too for a minute. Come follow me. Come follow me to Jay and Strider's streams and call them goobers and raise money for kids and tell them that they're amazing. All right. Final count on my stream. What are we up to? 177,792. Sick with it. That means we're like $2,200 away from the new goal. That's insane. And the weekend is just getting started. All right.
Try to push to you if I can.
I'm gonna take that out.
In between us.
Give me 1 second.
Oh, okay. Wait, was that a hell bomb? Did you ignite that?
Yeah, grenade.
Nice. Okay. Hey, work.
The enemy grenade.
The
To be
enemy.
fact.
Copy that.
You're just loud as hell for some reason.
No way. One of the turrets just hit its own bulk. That was awesome. Oh yeah. Love that. Love it when a plan comes together.
I'm sending my people to raid you. Wow, what's up, Plot Coalition? Over in the YouTube chat. What's up, dude? Give me 1 second. I gotta fix one thing really quick. How do I remove certain words that are banned?
I got an OPS with its name on it. It's out. Alright, put suppression fire down, keep it running cyber.
Okay, here it is.
Oh, that's that factory strider. Alright, you should be good cyber.